And welcome to another one of my videos, and I'll be introducing a new little series which I'll do once a month, and I'll answer your questions. So today I posted on Instagram and on Facebook, and I asked you to fire away and ask me a couple of questions, and I'll try and answer them. And if you have any more, just pop them in the comment section on my blog or on Facebook or on Instagram, and I'll write them down in my little book and I'll answer them in this little series. So the first three came from Natalie on Instagram, and her first question was, what inspires me? So well, inspiration, I draw it from everywhere, and it's not necessarily something very specific, and usually I don't really know where it comes from, but sometimes I just come up with an idea, and it's usually based on maybe an advert I saw somewhere, or some graphic design, or maybe a layout I saw on Pinterest or in one of the galleries like the Studio Calico gallery, or on scrapbook.com, and just something in that layout or in that design just sparked an idea, and I work from that. And sometimes it's just a starting point and I go completely wild and it doesn't look anything like what I imagined it would look like, but usually it starts somewhere there. And sometimes it even starts with the photo. So just looking at the photo, I've got lots of ideas that just come to mind. Papers I want to use, maybe techniques, or maybe a cut file, or just things like that. Now, what do I hoard? That was the second question. Well, I always thought I'd hoard paper. But usually I go through my paper once a month and I just throw out, or I don't really throw them out, I give them away to the school here. So I just go through my paper and I look at them and just say, what am I going to use? And usually even if I love it, but I know I'm not going to use it because it's maybe an older collection, I'll just put it in a bag and give it away. But what I do hoard are embellishments. I've got loads of them and I really can't part with them. I think some of my favorite embellishments come from American Crafts, little tags, and they are from like 3 or 4 years ago. And I still don't use them, but I just can't part with them. So I definitely hoard embellishments. Her third question was, what challenges me the most? And this hasn't got anything to do with paper or design or embellishments or products, because I always love a challenge. But what really challenges me is to not get caught up in this in the race to get the most comments or to have the prettiest layout, because I have got a great issue with self-confidence. I am always searching for approval from other people, and I have really had to learn to step away from that and just create because I enjoy it and not because I need the approval. The work I do pleases me and is dear to my family, and that's the most important thing. So that's the thing that has challenged me the most. It's to step away from searching for approval. So those were the three questions asked by Natalie on my Instagram photo. And then we have, well, I didn't have the time to look up the name, but it's her name on Instagram is Square425. How would I describe my style? I've always had a hard time describing my style. I think it's mostly clean and simple, in the idea of clean and simple, not putting lots of product all over my page. So usually most of my designs have white space, and I I like using horizontal, vertical or diagonal starting points. So in most of my designs that will pop up. I love integrating some artistic elements like paint, gesso, modeling paste. So I think my style is, well, it's maybe artsy, white space, lots of layering. It's just Lilith style. It's just something I like, and sometimes I can make completely different pages with the same products, some being very clean and simple and some being with lots of product and lots of pattern paper all over the place. I think I just go with things that inspire me, that I like. You won't open an album or one of my albums at home and see the same kind of style all the time. Sometimes I wish I had that. If you look at certain scrapbookers, they always use like white cardstock as base and always pale colors, and it looks really, I love the look, but I just can't achieve it. Sometimes I'm in a really funky mood and I need lots of color and lots of ink on my papers, and other times I want something really simple because I really just want to focus on the photo, on the story. So just depending on my mood, my style will change a bit, but there are certain elements that always pop up, like layering, diagonal, horizontal or vertical flows, etc. I also really like detail, so I'll always try and add little detailed elements in my pages. Now, Jen asked me if I have a favorite paper line. My favorite paper line. I think my all-time favorite paper line was from Crate Paper and was called Random. I really loved that line and I still love it, and I think I still have a little scrap of paper. It was this floral paper with pink and turquoise, and I just love that paper line. But I like lots of papers and paper collections. I mean, some of my favorites at the moment are Glitz Design. So, oh no way, don't make any noise. Noise playing on the computer. So in Glitz Design, Bright Side, the Bright Side collection is really pretty. It's nice and bright colors. I also love lots of Studio Calico lines. Dear Lizzie, always a favorite. My Mind's Eye has some spectacular lines as well. Cartabella, I really loved. Well, I just have to check what it was called. Wildflower. I loved that collection. It was something a bit different, but I really loved that. So paper lines, as long as they have designs and colors which I like, no problem for me, I'll buy it. Okay, I'm back. I had to go and answer the doorbell. Now, another question from Jen is when I scrapbook. So if I'm scrapbook in the morning, or in the afternoon, the evening, well, usually I teach. So my daytime job is to teach teenagers, so usually I can't scrapbook during the day. But when I'm on vacation and when the kids give me some time, I will scrapbook during the day. Usually when I'm fresh, I'm the most creative. But because I do work, I have had to juggle a bit with everything, well, time, making time to scrapbook. So usually I scrapbook in the evening. And what I do is I have a little notebook and I just write down all my ideas and draw my sketches, and I usually have one day in the week where I will cut all my cut files with my silhouette and then just place them in little files, and I also usually already start putting things like embellishments or labels or stickers I want to use in those little files, so that when I get to create everything, ooh, there's a fly which is annoying me. So when I get to create, I can just get started. So usually it's in the evening, but when I'm on vacation, and usually when the kids go on camp or when they've got activities in the day, I will scrapbook during the day. So whenever I have time, I will scrapbook. Now, how often do I scrapbook in the week? Well, that varies depending on when I have time and what's happening in the week. So if it's a very busy week at school or when it's the exam periods, I'll probably make nothing or near to nothing. And sometimes when I have these kind of scrapping sprees, I just go ahead and I can sometimes, like in an evening, in 2 to 3 hours, I could make 3 to 4 layouts if I'm really organized and if I really know what I want to make. The key to getting some time freed up in my day is organization. So I am really organized. I've got my planner. I know what I'm going to do in the day. If I've got corrections to do, I'll try and do those at school if I've got like time between lessons, so that when I get home and when the kids are in bed, I can just sit behind my desk and just create. I really need that time in the evening, even if it's just 10 to 50 minutes of creating some cut files or making some notes or just looking through Pinterest or through magazines just to get some ideas. I really just need a little bit of time to create something, even if it's not really with my hands, but already get the ideas flowing. It just helps me unwind from the really hectic days I have. So those were the first series of questions. I hope you learned something new, and maybe these answers sparked new questions. And just pop your questions in the comment section here below on YouTube, or maybe on my blog, on Facebook, if you saw this video on Facebook. I'd love to answer some more questions, and I hope to see you really soon. Keep your eyes open, because fingers crossed, at the end of July, my new class will be available for purchase. So I'm working really hard on getting all of that done. So the coming week is going to be really busy. You probably won't see a lot of me on social media because I'll be locked in my little office space / scrap room and working away on getting PDFs done, designing the final cut files and labels and little freebies, and filming the 3 last videos, because I made 2 and made another one and didn't like it, so I've still got to film 3 of them. And I really hope you'll be there to buy my class. So at the end of July, you have all the information for that. I just want to reassure you, it's a class based on a theme, and I'm going to try and do these classes every 2 months, and they will be really affordable. I'm not making really expensive classes, and I really hope you will learn something with them. So fingers crossed everything goes well, that my forum doesn't give me a hard time, because I'm doing this all by myself, and I'm not a big computer geek or anything of that kind, even though my dad is a wizard when it comes to computers. But I'm trying to do my best, and I hope I'll see you there at the end of July. So see you very soon, and bye bye.